So good afternoon to everyone that's joined us in America. Good evening to everyone this Sunday night in the UK. And hello on a Monday morning to everyone in Australia right now as well. And not forgetting our Canadian friends up in North America as well. We're going to have a fantastic call this evening. We've got a few people going to be coming on, sharing some information. I'm going to be your host. I'll be coming back in a few times throughout the meeting. But I want to hand over first place to somebody who I regard as a friend, someone I regard as a mentor. I met him 5.5 years ago as a business partner through, believe it or not, the reason we met was through a Facebook ad, I believe, that was placed at the time and was clicked on, and that the rest is history. And we'll be touching on some of the things that you can do to help globalize your business, because we certainly got an opportunity to build an international business here. And whilst I, for one, am a great exponent of the old traditional sort of networking style, belly to belly, face to face, there are ways that we can extend our reach online as well by plugging people into systems and all that sort of stuff. And I just want to hand over to Mr. Carl McGregor, who has spent years simplifying things, okay, making sure that it's boiled down to its keep it stupid simple sort of idea, because as humans, we have a fantastic time, it appears, of complicating the simple. Okay, and it takes a bit of a genius to keep things simple and even to simplify things. So, Mr. Carl McGregor, with that being said, would you like to share some of your thoughts on what we're going to be doing moving forward to ensure that everyone can keep up with the international expansion that we're going to be experiencing very shortly?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Philip, and thank you for all that you do. You're just a constant within your business, and your consistency and being persistent with your actions is why you're so successful. And not to mention, you're just brilliant mind, which is great. But again, just piggyback off what Philip's talking about, my friends, we're here at a very pivotal time. This is a very, very unique time in history, actually, where you're seeing that's happening online. Things are shifting our world, literally changing our world forever. What's happening in the e-commerce space, and these types of opportunities don't come very often, especially within innovation that's happening on a constant basis within the online space. And the fact that what's happened in the e-commerce arena, I just spoke to, actually back and forth, somebody just hit me up that he saw me 10 years ago from a previous company we worked together. And he's like, my gosh, that's Kyle. How are you? So we were going back and forth. He stepped out of the whole traditional direct sales place, and he started his own company doing door-to-door. And so he was hitting me up and talking to me, what do you do? And I was just giving him little tidbits, right? And I'm like, well, let me keep it real simple for you. We're doing basically, we're doing similar for the e-commerce space what Uber did for taxi services. He's like, well, how's that? Like, we're just filling a need, found something that people needed, something people wanted. And we're just finding a way to people to be incentivized to shop through themselves. He's like, well, how does that work? I said, well, do you shop online? He said, well, of course. I said, do you currently get paid to shop online? And this is all via back and forth on instant messengers. This was crazy. Do you currently get paid to shop online? He's like, unfortunately not. I was like, would you like to get paid to shop online? He's like, absolutely. So I said, well, welcome to the family. Well, how do I get involved? Guys, it's as simple as that. It's literally just finding and connecting with people and what they do and how you can find a solution to what they're experiencing. And that can be on different levels, right? But again, that's the connection with people. And you don't have to go fishing for people. People start coming to you if you start leading the breadcrumbs to them, right? And our business is so common sense that it really attracts everybody. See, if you were marketing just a specific product or just a specific product line, okay, you're limited. You're limited to what you get to market. You're limited to what you sell. Here, guys, we show you how to brand yourself with whatever you can get excited about, whatever you get passionate about, and then we show you how you can utilize those products to be able to build your own brand. This is what's brilliant, because we don't have limitations, but we have a platform where we can actually help people get paid to do the things they're normally doing. So that's the big picture of things, and helping you understand that we have really found a solution to a problem that exists within that space. And we're very, very blessed and excited to be at the beginning stages of this evolutionary platform. Okay. So that being said, just a couple little heads up. We normally would have had Monday night calls. Okay. And Monday night calls was our corporate calls. We're going to be not doing those for a little while. Okay, so don't worry about 6 p.m. on Mondays anymore. That's not being done. But what I do want to touch on is showing you how to first and foremost keep it super simple. We like to call it the KISS method. And I'm going to go over a couple of philosophies here today with you guys and talking about what action steps you should be taking now and kind of go over those things. But if you guys want to build something internationally, if you want to build something on a national level, not just something in your backyard, then you want to make sure you plug into things that have the ability to have a reach internationally. See, a lot of times people focus on what they've known, right? We only know what we know. And a lot of times we like staying in our little bubble of comfort and we start doing the things that we're accustomed to doing. And so if we learn about something else that kind of pushes our mind a little bit, we kind of steer away from that. We procrastinate. We don't do those types of things because we're not sure how to. So during this time frame, we're going to keep it as super simple for you to show you what you can do right here, right now. But also, I would challenge you to start doing some things that you may not feel comfortable doing. And that's how you grow in life, by the way. You want to get better in life. You want to actually succeed in life. You want to get on a higher level. You want to start generating more income. You've got to create more value. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what this schedule we have throughout the week, what action steps you should be taking throughout the week, but also how you can keep it super simple. Okay, but before I get into those things, I wanted to bring a gentleman on. Very, very excited for him to be on here. I've been very impressed with the type of leadership we've been attracting to this model because it is very, very simple. It's a common sense business model, and smart people and business people get it. Okay, so that's why I love what I do, is because I was in other companies that I felt that I couldn't talk to everybody because they were just limited to what they were marketing. Whether it was a skincare thing or a coffee thing, or whether it was just travel or whatever it may be, there's only a certain demographic you can talk to about those types of things. Here, we sell everything pretty much, So I don't have to convince people to buy the things we're normally buying, right? I just show them a better way, show them a way to innovate. It's like I didn't have to convince people to be on social media when Facebook came out. Facebook just innovated, made it a little bit better. Right? So those types of things that we're able to participate in, now we get. So I'm going to bring on this dynamic duo, and I'm not sure if Vanessa's going to be on as well, but I know Wayne's on here. And we're very, very blessed to have Mr. Wayne Arnold, a gentleman that's been in business for years and years. He's been in the direct sales world. He's built large organizations and teams around the nation. He's in the financial services world, but also he has different revenue streams that he's brought on. Okay? So I'm going to bring him on and have him kind of share a little bit of his vision of why he's chosen to engage with us, how and why he sees the vision of what we're doing here with e-commerce, and why he's so excited. So, Wayne, are you the line here with us?
Hi, Kyle. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear. Thanks for being on here.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate this opportunity you given to me and my wife. Yes, she is here with me, and we're absolutely excited about this platform that you guys are creating. We've been in the financial service business for so long, and like you said, we have the opportunity to build an organization, which we have, and compared to what we have here in GSR, compared to what I've been doing, it's absolutely day and night, and I'm so fired up and excited to get this going. I'm so happy to be able to be a part of the ground floor platform with you yourself, and being able to be mentored by somebody at your caliber, and be able to now be part of Phil and be able to get the wisdom of what you guys have done internationally. See, for me and my wife, we've been working together since 2004. We jumped ship from corporate America and decided to do our own business. We read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and we never looked back since then. Never got a day job since then. And 2000, that was in the real estate business. 2008, everyone know what happened in the United States. The market absolutely crashed. We went from making a whole lot of money to making no money. We went from living in having a four unit apartment unit to nothing. We literally had to move back to a small little apartment building for my wife and I and our two children. But we never stopped. We never stopped dreaming. We always thought and believed that we're going to be able to build an international business. And so we got in a little bit dabbling into the e-commerce business around that time. Didn't really know anything about that organization or about that industry, but just know that there was an opportunity out there. We struggled, but eventually we came to an organization where we invest about $4,000 for their platform, and they give you about a whole lot of videos that you have to go and watch. And I was watching those videos. We even created our own product from China. We totally probably spent well over ten or $12,000 for that whole project. We only got a third of our product from China. Most of the labeling, our brand was completely, we couldn't even sell the items. It was such a mess. It was a disaster. We got really disappointed, but we never got discouraged. Once you get into self-development and really understanding what it will take to become successful, you realize that there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs, and you just got to stay focused and go after your dream, and don't ever allow discouragement. Don't allow the things that goes wrong to stop you from achieving your dreams. And so we have that mindset, and we just continue plugging in. We also got, at that time right around, we got into the financial service business. We start doing well with that, and so we start sticking to that business, and we just start growing. We learn a lot. We got some really good mentorship. Learn a lot more about business. But the financial service business is a belly-to-belly business. That what we were doing every single day. It's an active income. If you don't go to work, you don't get paid. It was back to a job, but the job owned us rather than we owned the business. And so we constantly had to keep working. You go down, you don't make no money. So over a period of time of building this organization, we realized that there has to be something out there that we could really build and be able to build internationally. Our financial service business, we can only build out here in the LA area, which is a limited area compared to the world. So when I was introduced to GSR, it was a no-brainer. It was the perfect timing. Matter of fact, the individual who introduced us to this is Mr. Anthony LeBlanc. I was on the phone, I was on my computer looking to build a Shopify store when he called me and said, "Hey, Wayne, I have something for you. Are you interested to learn more about e-commerce?" I was like, you have absolutely no clue what a beautiful timing this is. I stopped what I was doing. We got together, and then we start working together. So I'm pretty excited, Kyle. I know this is an opportunity because, Jack Ma, who's the CEO of Alibaba, recently was here in the United States, and he said that every single individual, especially those between their age 20 to 35 years old, he said these individuals should not be looking for a job. They come out of college and they look for jobs. He said, every single one of you should be building an e-commerce business because it's the wave of the future. This is a global economy. This is a global trading platform, and you can grow an organization bigger than you can dream or imagine. But far and few in between people will be able to take that leap of faith to go do so because it's not as easy as it sounds. But GSR gave us that platform. It has the built-in system. It has the leadership. It has the duplication. It has everything that you need to win in business if you're just willing to be coachable. If I just willing to just be mentored by those who went before us, we can become one of the top organizations. We can be the next Amazon. We could be the next Uber. And I can envision this business where we're doing 10, 100, $200 billion a year in production because this is something that have not been done in this industry before. So, Kyle, I'm pretty excited, Philip. I'm pretty excited to be a part of what is happening. I'm looking forward to be a big part of growing and expanding into different countries. And me and my wife, we just every day, we have our whiteboard in our bedroom, and every day we're drawing out formulas and things, and just like Kyle talked about, keep it simple, and that's been our formula. And that's why last year we were the #1 recruiters in our organization because we kept it simple. So, Kyle, I can continue, but I thank you for this time. I'll go ahead and turn this back over to you.
Fantastic. I'm so blessed and fortunate to be able to have people of your caliber coming aboard and seeing the vision of what we're doing. And really, it takes vision to see something before the masses do, but also takes courage to take action. Because, if you start at the beginning of something, we always want to be at the right place at the right time. The question is, what are you willing to do about it? What are you willing to actually do to step up and actually have a different experience than we've already had? That's the big question, right? But it's going to take a couple of things. It's going to take some diligence, some foresight some laser focus, and keeping it very simple for the average person to participate. And if you can do that, that brings what's called duplication. If you can duplicate something, you get something to layman's terms, make it super simple for the average person to participate. Dude, we're going to make an absolute fortune here, and that's exactly what we've done. So it's a very exciting time in history, I believe. And it's very exciting for everyone to be a part of this at the beginning stages of what we're doing here as well. So, Mr. Arnold, thank you so much for all that you're doing, that you're building, you're sharing the vision of what we're doing, and what an amazing story that you have had, and gone through those, because you had to go through some tough life learning experiences, but you saw that e-commerce is the wave. You saw that e-commerce is changing our world forever, like cell phones have changed our world. So that to me says a lot about you, that you're willing to do something different outside of the box of comfort that you've already done. But I'm gonna actually tap into what you're talking about as well. Well, first and foremost, let me ask you a quick question. You got an amazing accent. I guarantee every person on this call is curious of where you're from. Where are you from, sir?
I'm from Belize.
From Belize. So, by the way, Belize, beautiful country, and the only English-speaking country of all of South America. Interesting,
that is
right?
The truth.
Very cool. But I'm going to piggyback off of what you talked about, Wayne, is in regards to building, okay? You can build in your backyard, meaning in your local area. You can also build nationally, internationally. But how do you do that? That's the question. I know it's one of the questions that some of our leaders have been asking. Like, we've got some amazing talent here, people that know how to build a business in their backyard. I mean, they know how to hold events, they know how to do conference calls, and they know how to build in their vicinity, right? And you've done very good at that, Wayne. But for us to be able to build outside of that, we got to make sure that we're tapping into what's capable, we're able to do outside of our reach. We can expand our backyard from our local area to an international area and to a global area. But how do you do that? You want to make sure you tap into a system, okay? And this is what my mentor taught me this, is you don't want to become a plate spinner, right? Plate spinner, have you guys seen the circus before where they spin a plate on this big old rod and they start spinning it, and then they put another rod up and they spin that plate and they spin that plate. And there's only a certain amount of plates you can spin until the first plate slows down and starts to fall over. Then you go and tend that plate. Then you go back and tend the other plate. So you can only expand to a certain amount of plates. But if there's a system in place, let's say there was a mechanism that actually is the bottom of that and actually spun the plate for you, you could spin as many plates as you want. And then if you could teach those plates to build their plates and spin those plates, and it came from one source. See, that's the key, is tapping into creating a system that's simple, duplicable, that people can tap into. So my mentor taught me this. He said, Kyle, don't become a manager of people. What you want to do is become an amazing sponsor and then tap them into the system, and then you manage the system, because that's scalable. You can build large teams, large organizations. You can build teams in the hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, even millions, if you have a systematic way to plug people into a place they can all get it from the source. So that's what we've done here. Here with VIP Global, we have an organization of like-minded leaders and entrepreneurs that are here to support each other and help each other win. Okay? So there's certain actions and activities we encourage people to tap into weekly with consistency. Now, what's easy to do is also easy not to do. It's a Sunday afternoon at 12 noon. It's simple to get on a half an hour, 40-minute call once a week. But sometimes people get distracted. They put things on top of things. They don't make it a priority, right? But then they start losing that focus if they continue to not tap in. But again, the speed of the leader determines the speed of the pack. So you want to make sure that you show up as a leader. If you're showing up, your team will show up. Like one of my guys that I helped build an organization with him for over 250 people, which some people think it's big, some people think that's not that big. But at the end of the day, it's all perspective. But for him, he's like, why is it that a lot of my people are not doing these things? I'm like, well, let me ask you a question. How many conference calls have you been on? It's like, I haven't been on a conference call in like 3 months. Okay. How many webinars have you been on and encourage your team to be on that call? Sure, I haven't been on there for over 4 months. I'm like, how can you expect your team to do what you're not willing to do? See, true leadership is leading by example. Do as I do, not as I say. You want to lead by example. And so part of the systematic aspect of building something internationally is plugging into a system and having your team do the same, and then participating as an active leader within that organization, that system. Okay? So let me go through a couple of the things that you want to be tapping into on a weekly basis. First and foremost, it's real simple. It's not a lot of time, but it needs to have consistency, right? Like Paul Singlisi, he's on the call here today. He was on top of his game. He knows exactly what time that he needed to be here, and he got on the call. So these are just examples of consistency that you need to tap into, okay? So Sunday afternoon, 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. GMT, we have a call. And this is to help people get focused, to learn some of the skill sets, mindset, and philosophy to win, but also stay plugged into the source of what's happening within the company, the organization, so people can win it, okay? Second thing that we do throughout the week, and by the way, you can get all of these bits of information in the things that you should be doing, or the webinars and trainings that we have available at our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/VIP Global Network. Facebook.com/VIP Global Network. Go ahead and like that page and stay plugged into it, because we give you all the different events. If for some reason you had to miss one event, we actually do the recording. We have it recorded there as well, okay? So if you had to miss it for whatever reason, something big that came up, you couldn't be on it, or whatever it may be, you can go and hear the recording from the week previously, okay? So that's all there available as well. The second thing is we have a master class Monday afternoon at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. GMT. And Mr. Philip Llewellyn runs that class, some of the best training I've ever seen. And he does such a wonderful job breaking it down, brings other leaders onto the call to make sure that we give you great quality content, okay? And that goes through a lot of the different skill sets, some of the things you should be actively doing, okay? And then the third thing that we do throughout the week is a webinar we do every Wednesday evening, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. GMT. And for those who are on the other side of the pond, 2 a.m. if you want to stay up, where we'll have that recorded for you guys as well, okay? And we're going to be going into some phenomenal information this coming Wednesday. You're going to absolutely be blown away with some of the things we'll be tapping into about the 10 different things that you need to be doing, the skill sets and philosophy you need to be doing to build a massive international business, okay? So do not miss this call this coming Wednesday. All right, so that, again, that's all there on the VIP Global fan page. But today I want to talk to you about a couple of things. First, I'm going to bring on Mr. Llewellyn, and we're going to chat a little bit about building in your backyard first, okay? That's important. Why is that? Because if you can build in your backyard first, if you don't have a team of 15, 20, 30 people already, you want to focus on building your backyard. You want to build a nucleus of people around you in your specific region. That's first, okay? Then little by little, make sure they tap into the system, and then they can start expanding from their networks internationally and globally, okay? That's how we'll be able to build a massive, massive organization with the VIP Global family here, okay? So, Phil, if you want to come on, just share a little bit about what the importance of maybe just tapping into the people that you know first. I know that any business, any successful business, I don't care if it's a restaurant, I don't care if it's an online business, I don't care what it may be, people start with the people that are closest to them. They start with a warm market, right? If you open up a restaurant, you're going to have a grand opening, and you're going to invite everybody that you know to come to experience it so they can tell their friends and family about it. That's how business is done. If I was to start a lawn mowing business, I'm going to go around my neighborhood and talk to them about, hey, look, by the way, I'm cutting your lawns these days, and I can give you a great deal discount, and we'll give you a free cut for free, or whatever it may be, right? I'm going to start with the people in my surrounding area and the people that are closest to me, okay? That's how you build a solid business. So, Philip, what's the importance of doing that, and how should people start off? If they maybe never been in the direct sales space before, or never even started a business before, what would be one of the best ways that they can start building their backyard?
Well, if you're completely new to the business, Kyle, the first thing I would say is who do you want to help? Who would you like to bless? Who would you like to share this information to and empower them to have something better in their lives than just getting up on a Monday morning and going to the 9 to 5 job 5 days a week? Because we all know that system is broken, don't we? Right? But here's the thing. Also, I'm almost feeling sometimes I've got to DMLM people, okay? Because we've got into such a stage with network marketing, direct sales, MLM, call it what you will. Okay, it's been going for 80 odd years, 90 years almost into some of them. You think of some of the first ever companies started like in the 1920s, early 1930s. So it's had a lot of time to to be how can I say, to be bastardized then, right? And there are so many different versions of what is and what isn't network marketing and MLM. And one of the first things I feel I need to do is to tell people about MLM and network marketing, and then listen. And then I listen to what people's interpretations or misinterpretations are of this business. And you will be amazed how many people have a completely wrong sort of reflection or idea of this business. So one of the first things I always do is I try and ask them what's their understanding of what this business is all about, and then just listen. Because honestly, you will be amazed if they've never been in this business before, either how much little they know or how much they know is completely incorrect. So I would always try and make sure that you build up their knowledge base first, Kyle, in that regard, to be honest with you.
Got it. And I also look at it, if I'm building that list, I want to start with the people. I don't prejudge. And I used to do that. That was my mistake. Yeah, you want to be, selective of some of the people you speak to, but at the end of the day, there's certain people that you think would do so well at this type of a business, or some people that you think would not even do anything that actually end up blowing it up. Like you'd be surprised. Actually, people will actually surprise you, and that's why I can't make that judgment. I can't tell. We don't know where people are in their lives. I told people, I didn't think about talking to certain people because I thought they were already financially well off. So I'm like, why am I going to talk to that guy? He's already doing good. But we don't know people's circumstances. Maybe they're looking for another revenue stream. Maybe they're sick and tired of their career or their job. We don't know what's going on with them in their lives. So when I'm making that list, I just put people down that I know, and I start with a couple of people. I start with first the people that I care about the most, okay? Because if I can win in this and I didn't tell my family about it, shame on me. Or the people that I care about, my close friends. And if we end up going big, I don't want to be on the yacht by myself. I want to be around the people that I care about and I love, right? Same thing I look at this way is the second people I look at is who are the most successful-minded people that I know? Who are the business people that I know? A gentleman I just brought aboard, he does very well for himself financially. And he already makes a stupid amount of money. But at the end of the day, business-minded people get this type of model, and they recognize what's happened in the e-commerce space. And if we can show them a revenue stream that they can add on, the average millionaire has at least 7 streams of income. So if you inherited $1 billion company today, right? I mean, who would you want to have on your board of directors? Think about that. I wouldn't want my broke Uncle Bob. I want to have the people that are of business mind to be able to help support me and build with. Why do you think the best and biggest successes in life surrounded themselves with people better than them? It's because they found a way to get supported. They stood on the shoulders of giants. So again, think about that, right? And then the third people, and I think I already kind of covered it with the people that I care about, is who do I like to hang out with? Who do I like to be with? Because if we're going to go on trips and vacations and things of that nature with the company, I want to have the people that I care about and the people I love having in my life to have fun. I want those people a part of my business too, because we could all travel together. So that's the type of thing that when I look at building that list, I kind of look at those 3 different dynamics, and I just put them down. And again, my job is not to convince or sell people anything. My job is to let people know this exists, let them know the vision of what we're doing, and let them make an informed decision after they've had the right type of information given to them, if they're open to having a conversation. So your whole point is to peak and pass. We had a great training last Monday from corporate, and Gary and Richard did a phenomenal job with a great trainer. And you go to our Facebook fan page, VIP Global, and we have that posted in there, just a couple of posts down. Okay, so go check that out. If you haven't seen that or heard that, learning about peaking and passing, that's going to be a big element for you to go check out, okay? Now, I'm going to talk about a couple of philosophies here going on after the list. Again, build in your backyard. Start with that list. Start hold your personal grand opening. And, stay consistent with sharing that vision with the people surrounding you in your backyard, okay? Now, let's talk about 3 philosophies, and we'll close things out with this, okay? And this will be a little...
Can I just pop in a sec there with what you're saying?
Please.
Thanks, because it's so great what you said, and thank you for sharing that. But generally, I would like to say to people, classify your relationships, your sort of connections with people, into whether it's a thriving relationship or are you striving to have a relationship. Okay, because when I talk to people over this last week or so about the names and build a list and make sure you keep adding to it and all this sort of thing, not everyone, so a lot of people are not quite sure on what that list is for and who are the people that should be on it. Okay, so I sort of say it in these terms. You don't want to be connecting with people right now, not at the timing we have. Okay, where we don't have everything that we would need, that we will have in, say, 6 weeks' time, for example, right? So really, the people you're striving to have a relationship with, it's probably a little bit early in the stage of our development right now to try and turn that striving relationship into a thriving one based on a conversation around the business. Okay. However, thriving relationships are different. Those are people that would, if they saw you ringing, they'd pick up the phone. They wouldn't try and divert it. They wouldn't try and make up an excuse that they're busy. They talk to you. Okay, you could catch up. You could find out what was going on, and then you could transfer your excitement about the business you're involved in. And especially, and this is so key, if you're not the kind of person to get excited, then get over yourself, right? And get excited. Because if you don't normally get excited and you can get excited over this, they're going to go, wow, he never gets excited. What the heck has got his cage rattled? I need to look at this, right? So you've got to do things that you wouldn't normally do to achieve the success that has eluded you till now, okay? And realize we're at rudimentary element number one here with this business, okay? We're going to build this massive, and we'll look back in 18 months, 2 years' time and go, do you remember we had nothing? Okay, when we built 2,500 people out of basic fresh air, just on excitement, just on giving information, just on sheer passion and belief that something was going to happen. So I would say definitely all your thriving relationships, and let me ask you this with all your thriving relationships, your family, your friends, your work colleagues, your neighbors, everyone you meet, the guy you buy your petrol off or your gasoline off if you're in America, okay, when you call it, who are these people that you enjoy talking to? Right? And actually put this information in front of them, because Kyle is right, quite right. We can't decide for people, and we shouldn't be sorting people out, because here's the worst thing, and it's happened to me. In fact, the latest time it happened to me was I was on a flight from the UK to Germany to attend an event in Germany a few years ago, and I have a friend of mine, English friend, lived in Spain, and we worked together. And I was approaching him. I wanted to approach him because he was in Spain. I didn't. When I flew to the meeting in Germany, guess who was sat opposite me in the same room? The guy from Spain that I decided I'd wait a couple of months before inviting him.
Whoops.
Right, whoops. So really, and that's happened a few times to me in the 30-odd years, and really, you smile and you laugh, but deep down, boy, that hurts. Right? Especially if they go on to build a big, thriving business, and you think, oh, that could have been my downline there. So really, honestly, pride comes before a fall, right? So with that being said, Kyle, thanks for that. I just wanted to bring that in and really concentrate on. And here's one question for you before I hand back to Kyle. If you found an entrance to a gold mine, who would you gather to take with you to get as much gold as you can? Would it be complete strangers? Would you take an advert in the paper? Or would you try and get all those nearest and dearest to you to get rallied around that mine and to get in there and get as much of that gold out before some other strangers come along? Because what we have in front of us now is the entrance to an undiscovered gold mine. And I really believe that. And if we can bring as many people as we can, and while saying that, if you look at the call this evening, 3 weeks ago, we had twice as many people on the call. Now, I'm not chastising those that have turned up because you're here, right? But here's the thing. 3 weeks in, we should be having 100, 150 people here now. I've just looked. I've got 7 people, I believe, on my team on here right now. So if everyone has got a team, whether it's 3, 5, 7, 10, however, how many of those team members are on this call tonight? And that's your job. Okay? If you've got people in your team, you owe it to them to not just tell them about this meeting and to send them the link, but really you should be saying, you need to be on this call. Okay, you need to be on this call. You need to put yourself out once a week for 45 minutes at least. If you can't do that, then you shouldn't really be doing the business, because
Right.
you need information, you need education, you need knowledge to make you good at that which you're doing anyway. So if you could just imagine if we all brought 4 people or 5 people onto the call next week, we'd have 150 people on here. And then if everyone did that in a few weeks' time, we should be no reason that we shouldn't be having 300 to 500 to 1,000 people on this call before the end of this summer. I really believe that, but we need to just make sure people are aware what's happening, why they should turn up, and you've got to show up, because if you don't show up, you can never win.
If nothing else, just to listen to Philip's accent. I mean, it's brilliant. You know, absolutely.
And the other thing, Kyle, if I can, because there were 3 things we wanted to cover this evening, 3 little things, and we've done the part that any fool can complicate it, but it takes a genius to keep it simple. You covered that very well, and I loved what Wayne was saying as well, because he covered that. And the other thing Wayne mentioned was that, you know, you must be willing to to work in depth. I want to talk about working in depth, because when I mentioned this the other day to someone, and Kyle, you shared this very good list the other day with people, and they were amazed at it, and there's really good information on there. But when we come to the always work with the newest member at the bottommost point in the organization, that is key, because it's the key to your long-term success in business. That's working in depth, because when you work at the bottommost level of your leg, what happens is you let a fire in the basement, okay? And that automatically excites everyone above them. And that means that working in depth anchors in the people above them as well, because it taps into their fear of loss. Right? If you're constantly tapping into the new blood and lighting fires underneath people, and all of a sudden they go, oh, I better get moving, otherwise these people underneath me, they're going to start embarrassing me and showing me up, right? So you need to build a business by being coachable and showing a very good, strong work ethic. Okay, and that's all you need to do to succeed. You must be willing to humble yourself. Okay, and by that I mean humble yourself enough to listen to your mentor and to follow their lead. Because if they've been there before and they know the route to success, then you should be following them and making sure that you are learning as you go along. I've seen a lot of people, Kyle, come into this business. They've been big in corporate America, corporate UK. They've held directors' jobs. They've got company cars. But obviously, they're not happy because they've turned up to these network marketing events and they've joined some of them. And I've been across the room with some people. Do you know 95% of those people, maybe more, never make it? Because they try and bring the corporate world into network marketing, and that doesn't work. And because they're not humble enough to learn and to be aware that they have to retrain themselves and learn some new skills, they fall flat on their faces every time. You don't have to have experience in this business. All you have to have is experience and knowledge and a wisdom, okay, and a love of other people and working with other people. And that's all the expertise you need. And we can show you over the next 2 to 3 months how you can empower other people to get to the place in life that everyone deserves to be. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure that I got those points in, Kyle. Back to you, my friend.
No, you nailed that. It's fantastic. And really, to be a good leader, you got to first become a good follower. You got to learn those simple steps in order to win, and then to be able to share that and duplicate it and become the leader that you're meant to be. And I love that you piggybacking off of what you said is just because you saw success one place doesn't mean you'll see the success in a different place. Mm-hmm. There's certain skill sets and certain mentality that you need to have in this realm that maybe doesn't translate to what you've done previously. So that's a key element there to make sure that you understand that you gotta have that driving force. You gotta be able to be willing to show up, but also what you said previously is, guys, we're just doing 2 things. If you become a master promoter and a professional inviter, you'll win big here. As long as you continue to be consistent, persistent with your actions and activities, pick up the phone. Don't hesitate. Call your leadership, the people in your organization, and let them know about the events, right? Don't just send them a text and hope they get on, cross your fingers. Make a phone call. Say, look, I don't know if you made this a priority, but you need to. This is part of our system. This is part of our business. If we want to win big, we got to show up. And I have a philosophy. You got to show up and win. If you're not showing up, you can't expect your team to show up, right? So be willing to work with this new member, right, at the bottom of the point of the organization. Any fool can complicate something, but it takes a genius to simplify, to make it simple, right? And then you need 2 things to build business: coachability and work ethic. And those are just three of the simple little things that we're going to be sharing about on Wednesday. I think everybody's going to be absolutely super excited about what we're doing, and to learn some of these things to build your business solid and to build a large team, large organization, not just in your backyard, but internationally, globally. So again, tap in to what we got going on. Wayne, did you want to share anything else that came to your mind that you'd like to add on to what we're doing here?
Yes, absolutely, Kyle. Glad you asked, because I know a lot of people is on this phone. Some have different level of experience, but what we've been talking about today was really tapping into your warm market. Initially in the business, you can get intimidated by talking to somebody about something you know absolutely little about or nothing about. And this is why it's so critical to latch on to the person who brought you into the business, or their upline, the ones that have a little bit more experience, and learn a simple system that Kyle and I've been talking a lot about, is just the three-way phone calls. Allow somebody else who been there, done that. They know what to say. They know how to handle the objection. They don't get offended because somebody say no. So don't feel that you have to do this business by yourself. This is a wonderful aspect of why network marketing is so powerful, is because it allows people to use one powerful word in business. Is called leverage. And you need to know how to leverage other people's skills, leverage other people's experience to benefit for your benefit. So everyone went together. This is not about the top of the person making the most money. This is about everybody making money. But how do we do that? We work together as a unit. We trust each other, and you learn how to just follow. Like Kyle just mentioned, you got to become a great follower before you become a great leader. And until you get that in your system, you'll always struggle in this business. So to start off fast, use the person who have the most experience in your organization to help you contact some of these people. And you got to get used to the word rejection. And it's not rejecting you. Once you understand what is it that you want in life and where you're going in this business, nobody could stop you regardless of what they say. But then there's some people who, this is the first time they ever been in any type of business. That is great. Welcome to an amazing opportunity, an amazing platform that can transform your lives forever. But you got to able to just put yourself aside and use somebody else, and then you just learn. Listen to them on the phone, how they ask the question, how they overcome it, how they do all these little things that you're going to learn. Get into some personal development books. Learn how to understand how people's minds work. Human behavior is habitual. So understanding that, but what keeping it simple and keeping your business consistently growing is just understanding where you are and where you want to go, and who is around you can help you reach the people that you want to reach, especially in the beginning. I'll end with this, but a lot of my agents, they would get offended or would get discouraged because somebody tell them no. But I was always tell them, I said, look, if you go to the restaurant, you have a great meal, the waitress come and give you some water, and they come back and they ask you again, hey, do you want some more water? And you said no. You don't see the waitress running out of the restaurant with their tail between their legs, crying, said, oh, Wayne don't want more water from me. I'm so offended. I'm discouraged. No, they just go to the next person. Next. Do you want some water? No, they just go to the next. Why? Because it's not about you. It's what I want. It's where I am right now. So don't take nothing personal. When somebody said no, that's just mean they don't want water right now. It's okay. Come back to them later on when they're a little bit more thirsty, meaning when they're a little bit down. So that's what it is. It's going to take for us to work as a collaboration, as a team, to be able to work with each other's strength. And just know that what you're putting in, you will get out. So, Kyle, I appreciate everything you and Phil been talking about today. You guys are so on point, and I'm so amazed to be a part of this organization.
Awesome. Thank you so much for participating and being the leader you are. And I love the analogy of the waitress, because truly at the end of the day, the waitress is serving. She's there to give and contribute. And if people aren't open, ready for that reception, that's totally cool. Because at the end of the day, there are thousands and millions of people looking for what we have. So I'd encourage you guys to realize that in making that list. I love what Philip talked about in our beginning stages. Focus on those people that are willing to have a simple conversation with you and willing to see if they're open to possibility. So we'll start there. And again, leverage other people, leverage your support team, leverage those people, and let them help do the work with you. This is not a dependent business. This is not an independent business. This is what's called an interdependent business, where 1 + 1 = 5. There's a synergy that comes and is created. And you'll learn this over time. If you haven't heard about this before, is learning to support each other and work with each other to help people open their vision up to what's possible. Okay, so that being said, I'll turn over to Philip to end the call. Thank you so much for everybody being here, for really choosing in to have something different, to experiencing something different. That way we can actually achieve something more altogether. Philip, back to you.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it. And thank you, Wayne, for your fantastic contribution to the call this evening as well. It's an absolute pleasure to hear your words, sir. And we also have someone else in the business in Belize as well. I'll have to let you know where he's from, Mr. Gavin Kerr's team. So it's wonderful that you're from Belize. I could recognize your accent. So that's great. I appreciate that. And I also appreciate what you said about three-way calls and leverage and tapping into the knowledge of others, because this for me is key. Okay, with this community that we have and the community we're developing and the spirit we have coming together, we're all in this same boat and we all want to raise the tide for everyone else. And honestly, right now, the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks, I think, any three-way call I've been put on with my team, 100% success rate, right? So I hope I can keep that going for as long as I can, because here's the thing. When you have something as powerful as this that can affect as many lives as this around the globe, right? Who is going to say no to you if you've piqued their interest, you've passed them on to someone else, you've edified that other person, you've put them in touch with an expert, they've had a conversation, and then say, I would turn around, and I'll use Gavin for an example, and I would say, so tell me, Jeannie, what has Gavin done so far to get you to this stage of this business to talk to us? And, Jeannie might turn around and go, well, got on the phone, sent me a link to a 2-minute video, then phoned me up and followed up, and then said he was going to get me on the phone with you. Oh, so he didn't really do that much then. Do you think you could do as much as Gavin has done, and we will help you build the same business? So that's key, and thank you for pointing that out, Wayne. As the least you do in this business, the more success you will have. The more you do, forget it. Right? This is all about duplication, and I really love it. And thank you for everyone for joining this evening. Do appreciate it. See you on Monday's masterclass. That is at 12 p.m. Pacific Daytime and 8 o'clock British Summertime tomorrow. Thanks very much, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday. And remember this, as I leave you, everyone that works, or the vast majority of everyone that works, ends up going back to work on a Monday morning. So the very best time that you can ring your thriving relationships and your hot prospects is a Sunday night, when they're getting ready to go and face the rat race again Monday morning. Because if they aren't receptive to finding out how they can get a line on a Monday, on a Sunday evening, then forget it, right? So I always use the weekends and particularly Sunday afternoon to connect with those people, and you just cherry pick and just, hey, before you get to bed tonight, I hope it's not too late. I know you're probably going to bed early on a Sunday because you're up early Monday morning, and just go into a conversation. Thanks, everybody. I look forward to catching up with you on Monday. And don't forget, every Sunday, let's see if we can all get 3 to 4 people invited on to the call next week. Take care, everybody. All the best. Bye-bye now.